Have you ever searched for answers your whole life, only to realize that the more you ask, the less you understand? This is the story of a philosopher who did the unthinkable. He sat in silence for 2 years beside the Buddha and found the answer to every question he ever had. There was once a philosopher, learned, wise, but deeply restless. His entire life was a quest. He traveled from kingdom to kingdom, seeking out the most revered teachers, asking the same profound questions. What is truth? What is peace? What is the ultimate meaning of life? He listened to countless theories, debated endless philosophies, and absorbed ancient texts. Yet with every answer he received, a new wave of confusion washed over him. The more he learned, the emptier he felt. One day, weary from his travels, he heard of a teacher whose wisdom was said to eclipse all others. He came to Lord Buddha. Bowing deeply before him, with a heart full of hope and desperation, he said, "Master, please, I beg you, teach me truth." Buddha looked at the philosopher, his eyes filled with a gentle compassion. He smiled softly and said, "If you truly want to know truth, I have one condition." The philosopher's heart leaped. He would do anything. "Sit beside me in silence for 2 years," Buddha continued. "No questions, no words, just silence." The philosopher was stunned, his mind reeling. 2 years of complete silence? He couldn't imagine it. How could he learn without asking? How could truth be revealed without discussion? "Yes," Buddha replied calmly, "that is the price of truth. The path you have walked has only led to more noise. Now try the path of stillness." And so, the philosopher stayed. He took his place beside the Buddha and began his silent vigil. The first days were torment. His mind, so used to constant activity, screamed with noise. Doubts, fears, anxieties, and a relentless flood of questions echoed in his head. He replayed every debate, every argument, every answer he'd ever heard. Weeks turned into months. The internal chaos was almost unbearable. But slowly, gradually, something began to shift. Like ripples settling on a vast, still lake, his thoughts grew quiet. The storm in his mind began to calm. He started to notice things he had never perceived before. The subtle sound of the wind rustling through the leaves, the warmth of the sun on his skin, the gentle, steady rhythm of his own breath. He discovered a profound peace that existed beneath all the noise. The silence was no longer empty. It was full. Exactly 2 years later, to the day, Buddha turned to the philosopher. The man looked different. The restlessness in his eyes was gone, replaced by a deep, serene clarity. Buddha said gently, "Now, you may ask your question." The philosopher looked up, a soft smile gracing his lips. He bowed his head low, not out of mere respect, but from a place of genuine understanding. He spoke softly, his voice clear and calm for the first time in years. "Master, I have no questions left." Buddha waited. The philosopher continued, "Because I have no self left to ask." Buddha smiled, a radiant, knowing smile. "When the mind is silent," he said, "truth speaks for itself." The philosopher finally understood. The greatest answers are not found in the complexity of words or the cleverness of arguments, but in the profound simplicity of stillness. The truth he had been seeking was not an external piece of information to be acquired, but an internal state to be experienced. Sometimes silence isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of peace. It's in that quiet space that we find the wisdom we've been searching for all along. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the deeper aspects of life. We'd love to have you in our community.